So ladies and gentlemen, it says we're live, so we must be live. This is Tim Down for Living with MS in Tenerife. We're here in the Nebula restaurant. I'm on my little phone today, but we're a little bit sort of, I don't know, I seem to be pretty big today because I've got the phone in the wrong angle. Because later, I'm gonna go with my iPad mini. I've got you on the gimbal, but we're haggling about a little bit. I've table's a bit wonky. I've just had my first beer. I've just paid and I'm going. $2.20, I think it was. And we're going to have a walk round. Oh, I just see I've come up now. So we're going to have a walk round and we're going to end up in Little Germany around about 6:15. And Chris Rafferty said he might pop in and say hello. So we'll say hello to him. And in the meantime, we'll have a look round here. I don't know if you noticed, but if you go to Andrew the Night Strider's channel, he was here in Callao, Salvaje the other day and did a vlog coming down from the church past the Mind Hotel. And he stayed here for a drink. He had one of them Leche Grandes. Looked really nice. And then he went down, so if you haven't seen that, go and have a look at that. And I live here and I do a lot in Callao Salvaje. So if you go to my channel and look at the playlist Callao Salvaje, you can basically have a drive around, a walk around, a faff around, whatever you want. And I hope you enjoy the place. If you're new to the channel, my name's Tim Dowd. I go live Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 5:55. Monday's Meetup Monday, come and say hello somewhere in the village. Wednesday is Balcony Banter, where we get together with Ian from Dundee and Juliane from across the road. Oh, she's German. And we discuss some important stuff. You know, it's not as fun, but it's very good. So try us out on Balcony Banter. If you haven't seen this week's, on Wednesday just gone, the Craicmaster was on and we had an in-depth discussion there of the power of change. Next week I'm not sure what it is. I should know, but I don't. Have a look. Next week we'll put that up soon. And then Freaky Friday's just me in a bar. So I just go and have a couple of beers before I go home and cook for Chris. And it depends. She said all she wants today is bread and cheese, so I can have an extra beer, which I've just had. There you go. So I'm going to walk around, take you with me, and we'll have a quick look. I'll just see us on. We got loads of people on before the show, and now we got Alan, April, Jeff, Mark, Anthony, Rome in southern Norway. Good evening. Fiona. It's a beautiful sunny evening. It was a bit cloudy during the day, but it came out in the afternoon. And Joanna D, good evening everyone. I'm glad you're on, Joanna, because I would like to take this opportunity to wish John, who's Joanna's husband, and Joanna, of course, a fantastic 33rd wedding anniversary. And what I'm going to do is I was going to say it now and then say it again when I get down here, because I'm going to toast you with a dark beer. So if you haven't got a dark beer, send out Deliveroo and get yourselves a Frankensteiner, not a Frankensteiner, what's it called? Franziskaner, there you go. A Franziskaner Dunkles Weizen and drink with me to Joe and John, 33 years married. Well done. Okay, so we got John Howe. Hi, Tim. Paula's on. Jeff's on. Charlie's on. Marie Alti Photography's also on. So I'm going to put this stuff away now, and then I'm going to grab you guys and take you with me, and we'll see you in a minute. Just got to make sure everything's packed, because I lose stuff, you know. I lose stuff. Right, so let me show you around. I'll put my backpack on first. Hasta pronto. Oh, that's nasty. There we go. So I'm going to have to hold this one. Oh, yeah, that's even better, because I can get a bit further away from it now, you see. So let's turn you around. We'll go to the wide shot. So we're really wide shot now. I'll give you an idea of where we are. So we are in Callao Salvaje. This is the main thing in. There you go. This is the main drag in. And so you always come down this road if you carry straight on when you come into town, and you will always reach this roundabout here, and on the roundabout there's a corner building. I'm not going to say bar because it's got the Nebula restaurant at the bottom. It's got the El Terrace El Habli at the top, and at the back of it, so just through this ginnel and to the right, there's another one called the Rincon de Coriollo, which is the corner, Creole corner. Let me see if I can get you connected to YouTube. Okay, I've got your things on here. Try the bars over the road, Tim. Try the bars over the road. I don't think there are bars over the road. There's a couple of things, but we've got to go down. In 10 minutes I've got a reservation at Little Germany, so we'll do that. So now we're going to come down here and I'll show you around. First thing I'm going to show you is the time and the date and the temperature. And it says here 29 degrees C, and it probably is actually. Now it's Good Friday today, so not a lot's open, but it is 29 in the shade. In the sun, sorry, not in the shade. Else we got hi Marie, hi Julie, evening Pete and Shell, hi all. Beautiful clarity tonight. Well, what I've done is I've paid extra to broadcast in full HD. So you now have the full HD and you've got the wide shot. So it's taking a lot more pixels per inch. So if it's on your TV. Somebody's asking, how can I chat if I'm on TV? I don't think you can. Hello. Who's this? Chris Rafferty. I'm supposed to be meeting him down the pub.
And Adele.
Chris Rafferty and Adele. There you go. Pleased to meet you. I've got to hold this because this is hanging off. Let me just do that. And do that. So here they are, Chris Rafferty and Adele. I've booked a table at Little Germany, and we can go down and have a chat if you like.
We were down that way at lunchtime.
Uh-huh. No, they don't open till 5.
We were quite disappointed.
Oh, what a shame.
But having said that, we went in Lapina and it was beautiful.
Oh, the Lapina's great for lunch and breakfast as well.
Yeah.
And it used to be owned by a mate of mine, a Polish guy, and he made the kitchen look great. So they've got a great kitchen in there. They've got a great kitchen. Is that you, Bengaline, is it? Somebody saying, you're on TV! You're on TV! I've got a microphone for you, but I'm not going to give it you just yet. Because the last time I gave somebody a microphone, when they weren't sat down, they started chatting away when I was away somewhere with the fairies. No, you're part of the show now. Part of the show. In fact, we're very, very sort of loose on this one, you know. They're just looking at like a zebra crossing now while we're chatting. But yeah, it's nice to have people on because I think you can have enough of walking around and seeing what Tenerife's like. There's enough of us now since Lee brought us all up that you can gorge on what Tenerife looks like. But it's the people, I think, that makes the difference. So
everybody's got a different view of what they see, and
everybody's got a story. That's the whole thing.
oh goodness, I don't know if I like that.
I personally have noticed a friendlier vibe here today
Mm-hmm.
than the areas that we're staying. Nothing against where we're staying,
Uh-huh.
but it just seemed more genuinely friendly.
Here, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh, you're not staying here?
No, I lost Cristiano.
Oh, right. To tell you the truth, a lot of this is. Let me just go down here because we're on the thin bit now. A lot of it is that 99% of the people you meet here are going to be locals,
Yeah.
you know, and the tourists sort of like stay in the hotel, pop out, and then get the bus down to the Los Cristianos around about 5-6 o'clock. So most people, this one's a great place to see. So this is
The Monte Cristo, yes.
Monte Cristo's there, and you've got the 3 horseshoes at the end, and obviously the Indian there.
Yeah, we've seen a few of your vlogs from Monte Cristo.
The drunk one. You see the drunk one?
1 or 2.
I don't drink anymore.
Oh,
I don't drink any less.
gin and tonic.
No. I've decided I'm gonna try and slip it in a different way. So it's like my granddad, you know. He was told he drank 5 pints at lunchtime and half a bottle of whiskey in the afternoon, and Let me just turn everybody around.
Had another sweet for the rest of the day.
No, and the doctor says you've got to cut down your liquids. So he came home to my mum and said, I don't want any soup anymore. So cut out soup. So I'm really big now on your HD TV. I hope I'm not killing you. There we go. We got a beautiful sunset going to be coming down today. I've just got to keep this up because it's going to pull out in a minute. Good evening. Rick and Shelley's on. There you go. Paula's on. Good evening. Happy Easter, everybody. Oh, it's Easter, isn't it? Feliz Pascua. Feliz Pascua. Feliz Pascua. Got to say good evening to everyone. Hope you are well. So here we go. Is the guest behind us? I've always wanted a car like this, where you can park it anywhere you like, with impunity. Is that going to fall over? Now we go. There we got it now. There you go. So we're going to walk to Little Germany and have a proper chat. Let me just turn you back, because I don't like having my nose right in your face. We're going to have full. There we go. That's also a nice bar I tried the other day, down by the hotel there. It's open to the public and quite nice. So we'll put it on this way until we get past everybody. Because I don't like filming people who don't want to be filmed. Good mates they are, but they just don't want to be filmed. There you go. And here we go. Are you going to eat here? Just drinks, okay. Then we'll sit on a drinky table. I think I've got this one. Hello, Kirsten. ¿Dónde estamos aquí? Ich hab's 2 Leute mitgebracht. So there we go. Let me just put that down there. You take that, and you take that.
Thank you very much.
Can you get in there?
Thank you.
I couldn't fit. Kann ich noch du bist die Beste. Muchas gracias. I've got this till about 7, so this table I've booked till about 7, yeah.
Oh, right.
So we're all right.
As long as we can get a bus back.
Of course you can. Oh, you came on the bus, did you?
Yeah.
It's dead easy, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's just something we've been trying. We obviously caught your information
Uh-huh.
on your vlog the other day, because you just missed us at Villa Victoria. Victoria 1.
Oh, you did say, didn't you?
Yeah.
You did say, didn't you?
Yeah. And you said about the 477
To Los Gigantes, and then the 473 back. But you can get the 473 straight here, of course. You didn't go that way, did you?
No, that's the way we came.
All right.
We decided not to do Los Gigantes today. We had a bit of a late morning, shall we say.
Let me just. This microphone is now on. Right. So if you're going to do most of the speaking, I'll clip it to you. Oh, it's just a little magnet.
Yeah.
There you go.
Lovely job.
Lovely jubbly. Could you do me a favour? Could you
Try.
scooch around around the corner there? You don't have to. No, not really, you know.
Come on, in the corner. You block people's
There
way
you
there, look.
go. So now we've got you guys like that. There we go.
Terrifies now.
So they don't want to see me anyway. They don't want to see me anyway.
I bet they do.
They've had enough of me. They know what I look like. I'm going to do something really weird now. I'm going to take this out. Do you know what that is?
No idea.
That is a fantastic thing. It sounds like it. The usual, please.
Fanta, please. Fanta. No ice. Fanta ice, yeah. Thank you.
A large beer, please. Thank you. Amstel, if you have it.
Amstel? No, I think it's Dorado. Yeah. Or you take a dark wheat beer.
They do the Callao here, the German one in the bottle. I've been
You've been supping that, have you?
now and again back home.
It's an acquired taste, I must admit. But after the 5th, it's all right. So, what is your story? Chris Ann, sorry?
Adele.
Adele, I should remember things like that.
We don't have one.
You don't have a story? Well, when was the first time you came to Tenerife?
5 years ago, 6 years ago.
Probably 6 years.
Yeah, 6 years ago.
And what were your thought processes? Were you just sort of saying, oh, everybody's gone to Tenerife, let's go? Or did you see something? Or
We've been going to Albufeira in Portugal
Okay.
for 12 years, 3-4 times a year. We got to know a lot of people. It was very friendly. Every time we went back there, but we just wanted to change. And we had one holiday in Lanzarote, Costa de Guise, one of the smaller resorts. And then we came over here and we stayed in Las Americas.
Very nice.
Around, not in the Columbus, but around the Columbus area, which was very nice. And we just thought it was terrific.
So that was it then?
No, since lockdown and following all the vloggers,
Muchas gracias, mi amigo.
we just like the look of Cristianos. It looked a bit more laid back, a bit more family orientated. So we thought we'd try there, didn't we?
Yeah.
Cool.
And it was, we really love it.
And you really like it, yeah? It is in the thick of it, you know. So I mean, if you're going on holiday and you want to just fall out of bed and go and have 30,000 bars to choose from, that's the place to be. You are right. You are right. I'm just sharing this camera.
I enjoyed sort of getting on the bus and having a look around all the various places. And,
Well, if you're bussy type people, then for your next trip, then you might be better off getting a dirt cheap villa somewhere or apartment with a couple of bedrooms, you know. So if one of you is snoring, the other one can bugger off in the other one, you know.
We do that now.
I know.
he was on the sofa last night.
I wasn't the one that was snoring though.
Oh dear.
I should have had the comfy bit.
You got comfy beds as well?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Oh, I'm banging it. Hang on, let's do that. I can't see your comments yet, but sorry, Vince, no glasses on. But I will have your comments ready in 1 minute. Shelley has a night off tonight, Wayne. I'm comparing at the golf from 8:30. Cool, that's Rick and Shelley.
Well, we were all prepared today to do our Los Gigantes trip. Come back, like you said, stop at the varying little places, Alcalá, Obama, all the way home.
But the bus only goes once a day.
And then actually go down and see Shelley tonight at Dreamers. But we realised before we came out, she's not on until tomorrow night.
That's right. Oh dear. But I mean, it's still a nice trip. I mean, I've done the trip on the bus, and I've done the trip coming back in all the little villages, but not on the bus. So I can just imagine that it's a great day out, right? I'm waiting for somebody to do it to say, Tim, you're a soul, because it's not a great day out. But I think it might be. It might be.
Well, we're not really people who sit on the beach all day.
Okay.
So we tend to walk, don't we? We'll walk.
Well, you should be vloggers then.
Where did we go the other day? San Borondon?
San Borondon, yeah?
Yeah, and
Okay.
we walked back to Cristianos from there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
It was a long day.
It would have been a long day, I should imagine. Let me just see what I got here. I've got this guy and this guy. So, oh no, I can't do that. I got to do this. Hang on. Solo mio. Turn him around to selfie. That's me. And then we do it. There we go. We're both on now.
Wow.
So this is pointing to me. That's pointing to you, and we're side by side now. You know we do the side by side thing. There you go. So we're side by side. Now, all I have to do really now is to turn on this slider, and you're going to be blown away. I tell you, blown away, as they say. I'm taking my hat off.
I've not even seen one before.
A slider.
Huh?
Basically, it's all it is. It gives a little bit of cinematic. You shouldn't even be able to see it. But when you're watching TV, while we're on the thing now, let me do cheers. Cheers, big ears.
All the best, Tim.
Cheers, big ears. Thank you very much.
Thanks very much for all the entertainment.
Hey, no problem.
It's been terrific.
I do it for the fun of it. I've got this thing on this iPad that's called Center Stage. So it's a very wide angle camera, but it recognises human faces and dog faces. Right? And when a human face is in it, it'll sort of put it in the centre and centre it up, right?
Yeah.
And then if you move closer to the camera, it'll sort of like zoom out slightly. And then if you're away, then it'll sort of pan down. It's not actually doing anything with the lens, it's just taking the big thing that it's capturing and moving the picture around the bit.
Yeah.
So it's really, really good. I really like it. But a lot of people say that when I move around like this and it follows me, it makes them sick. So what I did, I thought, well, I'll buy a slider, and that'll even be better, won't it? It'll make it even more
It's like your 360 when you put it on the roof
Oh,
of the car.
yeah, yeah.
When you put it on the roof of the car the other day. Yeah.
So I just got to do that just in case,
Yeah.
and connect it with this guy. See, as when Kirsten walks past behind me, it sees two people and goes out to two people and then comes back in. It's pretty cool. So what we're going to do now, we're going to set up this thing. I've connected to it by Bluetooth now. So we're going to ramp 50%. So it's going to do 50% ramping, accelerating, and 50% slowing down, and it'll just move from there to there. And if I put loop on, it'll move there and back. So we turn it on, and there you go.
Is this something new then? Or?
I got it for Christmas.
What, you just sussed out how to use it?
I've been using it, but it's been subtle. So it's a very subtle thing. So you don't notice it unless I tell you that it's on. But what you notice is me being in the middle, and then the background sort of like doing this. You know when you're watching a chat show, and the camera moves very slowly to the side, but you don't notice it. But what it does, it gives you this. It gives you the effect that something's happening, but you don't know what. But you don't. It's quite good. It's quite good.
Sounds like my brain, actually.
Something's happening, but I don't know what.
Yeah.
You got it there. You got it
I
there.
quite often think that.
So what I'm going to do, I've got to just move this one click to the side. There you go. That's better. So one click to the side. There we go. So I've got to look in the camera as well. This is your camera, just to get in case you want to talk to anybody. This is your camera. Okay. So if you want to like look, have you got family watching or anything like that? Or any friends?
They might watch it.
But they'll watch later, yeah. So you look straight in there and you say hello to them there. That's cool. Now, if I look this way, okay. I always do this wrong. I always do this wrong. Yeah. Right. Okay. So I've done it wrong. I'm in the wrong side again. So I just solo mio, oh solo mio, and now I'll do that. So now when I'm talking to you guys, it looks like I'm looking at you. Very good. You know, all the other vloggers, they've just got a phone.
Yes.
And they've all got problems with sound. That's the problem. They've all got problems. And that's why I invested in these.
Yeah. The robots.
They are very good. I mean, you must admit, although I've got like the faulty towers moments sort of nailed in, that's my bit now.
That's what makes it fun.
That's what makes it fun, yeah.
Yeah.
I got these faulty towers moments sort of in, then, but I do have the best sound.
Yeah.
So when I'm screwing up, I sound the best.
Yeah.
I'm the best screw up.
Yeah. Well, the extent of our technology is a Bluetooth remote control for taking selfies.
Wow,
We've
That's
only
it.
just learned how to use that.
That's it.
cool dude. The selfies are your thumb, yeah.
Rather than holding the camera up, you know, like this.
You stick it somewhere, walk away, and turn. Yeah,
Yeah.
well done. You got to get these live photos and then do this one.
Yeah.
You know where you do the 3 second.
Yeah.
1,000, 2,000,
Yeah.
3,000.
We're not very photogenic, are we?
So, ladies and gentlemen, if you just joined us, we're here with Chris and Adele, and we're in the little Germany in Callao, Salvaje, which is on Costa Adeje, but it's not the Costa Adeje that everybody knows, because they walk to Costa Adeje, they get to La Caleta, and they stop. Some people do go around the other side and see there's lots of like stones and stuff, and then they get to the hippie beach with all the naked people that aren't there anymore, and then they get a little bit further and they run out of bottled water, so they end up crawling going water, water, water. And then they get to El Puertito, which is a fantastic little fishing village, 2 villages over, and they've got a bar there, so they probably stay there and then get a taxi home. But if you go one more, then you get to Playa Paraíso, where the Hard Rock Hotel is now, and that's a beautiful place. They've done the maritime walkway there, fantastic. There's about 5 or 6 bars on the walkway that you can get to, and in the village there's probably five or six bars again, plus the hotel. And then you come through the banana plantation or over the rocks and you get to Callao Salvaje. And we've got like 4 hotels, 12 bars, and so it's really a nice place. And if you want to join us, come and say hello, hit me up on the playlist Callao Salvaje and you'll be able to see that. So Chris and Adele, you were saying you came to Los Cristianos,
Yep.
then before you were in Las Americas, and now you come to visit the village, but you're not staying here.
We're trying to take in a few of the villages that we've seen vlogged. Obviously Los Gigantes, because it's one of the furthest away. Last week we went up to Los Abrigos.
Los Abrigos, the coats.
Yeah. We nearly made it as far as El Medno.
Okay.
We walked back through Golf del Sur and up to...
So Rick and Shelley's manor.
Yeah, we not far from their place actually. Don't want to say where it was, but I know where it is. So.
There you go,
Yeah.
there you go.
Yeah.
You just look down from the aeroplane and you see him, don't you?
Yeah. Sitting on either balcony, front or rear. Yeah. But it's just nice to catch up with some of the places and give a location to what you've seen in vlogs gone by.
Cool dude.
Yeah.
Cool dude.
One place I would like to go to, a little bit further than here, is Obama Beach. Is it Obama Beach?
Obama Beach is very, very nice.
Chairlift down to the little bay.
But you can't get the chairlift unless you're a resident.
Oh right.
So you got to walk down and up.
The steps or the road.
Yeah. There is actually a train that goes, and they don't ask you for your ticket, but if you look like a 5-star resident, which you do, then you should be all right. You should be all right. But what I've done in the past is just driven down and parked down the bottom.
Yeah.
There is no parking whatsoever, and you're just going to make sure that you're not going to park right at the end where the train turns round.
Yeah.
But I've just parked to the bottom and nobody's ever said anything.
Oh right.
But you shouldn't. But,
Yeah.
but it's not that bad of a walk actually, down.
Yeah.
Coming back up.
Well,
Yeah.
if you're taking the bus, you got to walk down, obviously.
Yeah.
But if you're taking a
Yeah.
car, then. But I wouldn't. There is a nice beach there.
Yeah.
It is golden sand. It's imported sand. It is sheltered, but there's only one bar, and that's the Obama bar.
Yeah.
And I think I've told the story before with a couple of my mates, and him and his missus and a friend went to a wedding. And they went down to the beach to have a drink before the wedding, you see. The wedding was in the reception up in one of the reception rooms. And they went down, so he says, I'll have 2 pints of lager and a gin and tonic, please. And they said, do you what type of gin would you like, and this or this or this. So she gets a nice one, I'll have a nice one. So anyway, the guy's getting his money out to pay, and he thinks, well, I won't like ask him with change in my hand, I'll take out a 50, He says, thank you very much, he says, thank you very much. And I think he got €8 back out of a 50. I can't even remember but it was like exorbitant, two beers. I think the gin and tonic was probably about €28.
Yeah.
And then the beers were probably about 8 or 9 each. But
We've done that ourselves this holiday.
yeah,
We walked past all the 95-cent euro pints, all the €1 pints, and we decided to stop at somewhere there was $6.90.
for a drink.
$6.90 for a Fanta and a large beer.
That's not.
Actually, it's not a problem because even if you stop at the 95-cent,
The
the
view.
Fanta's going to be expensive
Yeah.
The
because that's
view
where they get you in. The
was
view was
very
good.
nice.
You're not going to say where it was, are you?
No.
Well, we're not complaining because we're saying it's a fantastic view, so you can actually tell them.
Yeah. You got what you pay for.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I've got my Dunkless beer in my hand now. So actually, I can say to John and Joe, a very happy 33rd wedding anniversary, and we prost with the Dunkless. Thank you so much. Unfortunately, your wonderful gift through PayPal will pay for another 10 of these. So I'm going to get wrecked tonight. As long as I get home and make my wife a piece of bread, I'm all right. I'll probably just have 2 fingers left tonight. This should be higher actually, because when I look down, I've got this like treble chin, haven't I? I look like Jabba the Hutt. Skywalker. And when it was a Skywalker, was it? Princess Leia. Let's see what people are saying. So we've got thousands. I don't even know how many people. We've got 104 people on. 104 people on. Neil's on, Rick and Shelley's on, Ali Bennett's on, Winston's on, Bobby Ricketts, Tricia Slater. I can't go through all your names, I'm afraid, because there's thousands of you. They're all saying hi, 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 hi. There's no Cole's on, Anne-Marie Elton's on, Sandra Murphy's on, Linda. Oh my golly gosh. I've missed a load, but they're all saying happy, happy, happy anniversary to John and Joe. How much? Google Earth will show you the beach too, much cheaper.
That's true.
That is true. Yeah. That is true. Darren Johnson, happy Friday, everybody. Darren, it's this day 96 of the diet today. Are you going to be here for the 100th? If you are, I'd like to meet up. But if you're not, don't worry, we can do the 105 or the 110th, it doesn't really matter. But there's going to be a change on day 100 of the diet. There's going to be a change, yeah. I'm going to stop calling it a diet. Here's day 100 of the breakfast.
It's not supposed to be a diet, is it? It's supposed to be a
lifestyle change.
Lifestyle.
A lifestyle. Well, I've actually changed again now because I'm doing muesli twice a week now, and we're doing broadside twice a week. Broadside for the evening meal is just like a piece of bread with a sausage.
I think on your last vlog you said you were having another change.
That's right, yeah. It's did 90 days of just cutting down half the amount that I used to eat, because I really used to gorge myself, you know. And so that's worked. So 4.7, nearly 5 kilos I've lost. I say 4 because I only count full kilos.
Yeah.
And so
one thing we've found is the bread. So we used to eat a lot of bread. So I cut out bread completely and
Bread and pastry.
yeah.
I can't do that, you see, because what I'm doing if I cut something out is I am saying that my life was wrong.
Yeah.
But what I really think is that a balanced diet. My mum and dad my mum was she wasn't a nutritionist, but she was a nurse, and she would give us a balanced diet as kids.
Yeah.
And we were never chubby kids, you know. I mean, I got chubby when I found alcohol, obviously, you know.
Yeah.
But we weren't chubby kids, and so I really believe that if you just there's a German word called genieße, to enjoy, right? Yeah. If you enjoy what you eat in moderation, you should be okay. So I'm actually baking my own bread now. So yesterday I actually baked a German loaf. That's what Christine did.
Pizza loaf,
the pizza loaf was good, and that was a surprise for me because I wasn't making bread, I was making pizza, right? I've still got another one of those in the freezer.
Yeah.
And yesterday I made this German bread. It's called Espelta. I think the English word is spelt.
Yeah.
But they don't use I've never heard of it used in English. No. But in German the grain is called dinkel, which is a very famous bread, a Dinkel bread, yeah? In fact, we have the Dinkelbacker down in what's the place called where just before the airport? Put me in the comments what the place is called. Los something or other.
Los Abrigos?
No, it's on the motorway. Where you get off to Los Abrigos, where you get off the motorway. Las Chafiras, thank you, not Las Chafiras. Yeah. So there they've got the Dinkelbacker, and the Dinkelbacker makes German bread. And I used to go down there and order it and pick it up, or they'd even deliver it if you spent 30 euros. Yeah. You can't spend 30 euros on German bread. You know? Well, you can, but you got to freeze it then. Yeah. So what I did then is I just read this packet. You better get it from Mercadona for 90 cents or 60 cents, I think it is, for a kilo. And they said just put a kilo in. Actually, they were saying a half a kilo for a loaf, but I thought I'll do the whole thing. A kilo in, a litre of water, a handful of salt, a handful of yeast, the dry stuff, right? And that was it, I think. That was it. No, and then I stuck it in there. I've got this mixer now. It's like a KitchenAid, but half the price, or not even half the price, a tenth of the price, right? Not the $600 one. I wanted the $600 one. No, Christina can't do it. But yeah, so, and I did that for 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and then it was a very wet dough, and then I put it in this form and stuck it on a piece of paper, and then I heated up this crock pot. It was like a very heavy metal, you know they make Le Creuset?
Yes.
Yeah, the big heavy French things with a lid. Well, I put that in 250 degrees in the oven for an hour. So it's just screaming hot. I took it out, I threw the bread in on parchment paper, put the lid on, put it back in for an hour, and it bakes and steams at the same time. And that's the clue, because we can't steam in our ovens at home, right? We have so I put it in this crock pot and it'll steam. You know, with the liquid that's in it, you get the steam coming out. So it's fantastic. So I just published it. I just published yesterday's, where last night we had a sausage and cheese with this bread.
Right.
So have a look at that.
Yeah.
Have a look at that if you haven't looked at it. If you don't watch me shorts, that's weird saying that. If you don't watch me shorts, go to my channel and there's a short shelf. That's even worse.
Yeah.
And on there, you can see, or even go to the playlists, and if you look up Diet 2022 on the playlist, that'll give you every diet video, 60 seconds. And not only does it say the diet, but it also gives you the weather. So I'm going to leave it up there. I'm going to do it for a year, at least. A video a day for a year. And you will be able to know what the weather was like on Costa Adeje at any time, at any day at midday. So we have breakfast around about between 11 and 1. You know, it's like a brunch. So you will be able to find out what the weather was like in our apartment any day for a year. And then that should be a resource for you guys, right? Oh, my beer's evaporating.
Must be the heat today.
So,
Very warm today.
back to you guys. So we've done Las Americas, we've done Las Cristianas. You've come to see a lot of the villages. You're quite happy with the bus service.
Yeah.
So
What is your go-to type of restaurant?
Cheap.
No,
No, we try various ones really.
less
don't we?
expensive.
Less expensive.
Right,
sometimes.
okay.
Although, then we'll have a special meal out every now and again.
That's
So,
even better.
Yeah.
That's like having the broadside with a slice of bread and a sausage, and then on the weekend having a roast chicken dinner.
Yeah, every 3 or 4 evenings we go for something a bit different.
Okay.
Bit, you know.
Do you tend to go to the
Special.
sort of like the mid-Atlantic, we have it all type of restaurants, or do you go for specialities, or do you try the
We try a lot of
locals?
different ones, don't we? Indian, Italian,
Yeah.
Mexican. You're not so keen on the Mexicans. You can't stand the spices, but yeah, we do try a lot of.
We try to try different places.
And
First
would you?
time today
Sorry,
we
go
had
ahead.
tapas.
Yeah.
Well, sort of.
For me, it was the first.
Really?
Yeah.
Tapas is a really weird thing, though.
Yeah.
It is a weird thing because it's a very, very famous name or thing that you have in Spain, right? But not everybody does it the same.
Yeah. Yeah.
What type of tapas did you have? Did you have like 4 or 5
I
different
must admit,
ones?
It was only things that we'd recognised.
Okay.
Again, from previous vlogs. Canarian potatoes, which we've been wanting to try since we've come here. We've never tried them. Absolutely gorgeous. The bruschetta with a soft cheese, and they brought us out two little dishes of some sort of dressing to go on, and that was lovely.
A red and a green one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's mojo rojo and mojo verde. So mojo,
yeah.
mojo rojo, mojo verde. If you go into the supermarket around the corner, they've got bottles of it to take home.
Oh right, yeah.
Very nice. The red one's a little bit spicy. The green one is based on cilantro or coriander.
So it was the green one that I preferred because it's not so spicy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So if
I
you
like the red
you
one.
you can actually get a packet with 3 little jars in it. One's mojo rojo, one's mojo verde, the other one's aioli.
Yeah.
But I prefer the little the plastic bottles, so they're really good, and they're only about that big, like a what they called what's that red sauce? Tabasco.
Yeah.
It's about the size of it's a bit bigger than a Tabasco sauce bottle,
Yeah.
and but you can get them in any of the Hypedinos. So if
Yeah.
you go to Hypedino or
Yeah.
by you,
Yeah.
then you can get it there, and I recommend that because you've got to get scissors to cut the top off, though it doesn't open with your fingers.
Yeah, yeah. I just tend to look at a particular dish and think that's not for me, and I won't touch it. But recently, I've been trying different things.
Well, tapas is a very Madrid-based food. And a tapas bar in Madrid is the one where you would go stand at the bar, drink your coffee or your beer or your brandy, or all of them, yeah? So first the coffee, then the brandy.
Yeah.
And then you get, with each drink, you'll get a tapa, which means, tapa actually means a cover,
Yeah.
to cover, yeah?
Yeah.
So a tapas at the cover of your drink. So they put it on a little sauce on top of your brandy or a little sauce on top of your coffee,
Oh, right.
And then you'd eat that, drink your thing, and it always comes with a napkin, and you would do that and throw the napkin on the floor. And if you look in a tapas bar in Madrid, if there are no napkins on the floor, it's crap.
Oh, really?
So if you go to a tapas bar in Madrid and it's full of napkins on the floor, go in.
Yeah.
Because that is the place to go.
Yeah.
Tapas here, the first time I did tapas here was it's where Steak 21 is now.
Yeah.
And they would give you tapas as a meal, where one tapa was like enough, you'd had enough, right? So because I ordered 4 and all of a sudden 4 meals came.
Yeah.
And I went, what's all this? So they were just ripping the tourists off
Yeah.
by serving too much. I used to go to one in Playa Paraíso, and they would give you the tapas for free as long as you drank the beer.
Ah.
They had this and on draft
Yeah.
and Strongbow. This and Strongbow on draft, and then they had bottles of they had Dorada as well and Amstel.
Yeah.
But they had this on draft, so I would go over there.
Yeah.
And it's a shame that he opened the bar 2 years before the Hard Rock Hotel opened,
Ah.
and it didn't work.
Yeah.
It didn't work. It wasn't in the tourist drag. It's right next to Titanic Pizza. So I don't know if you know Titanic Pizza.
No.
We had that place there, and it doesn't matter. There's been about 4 bars been in there since, and none of them have worked.
Yeah.
But now they might.
So what about the little beach bar down here? No
That was
signs of that reopening?
No, that was what happened there is the guy had the contract. I'm not sure who it was, but I've been told it was the guy who had the steakhouses around Las Americas and stuff. What's the famous
Tony
steakhouse?
Roma's?
No, the other one.
Aberdeen Steakhouse.
Aberdeen Steakhouse.
Yeah.
I think it was the guy who had that. Anyway, he got this, or somebody got it. I'm not sure whether it was the Aberdeen Steakhouse. So just to be legal now.
There are other steakhouses.
And at the end of the 5-year lease or the 4-year lease, they didn't renew because there were certain things that weren't right. So they just said, we're not renewing the lease. So he went into legal to get it back, and it took 2 years to get to the courts. Eventually, after 2 years, they said, no, you're gone. Yeah, we don't, it's legal to evict you. So he got evicted, but then they couldn't start the process of getting a new owner until he was legally evicted, although it's probably,
Yeah.
behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Then COVID hit.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to pay 8 or 9 grand a month
Yeah.
rent on a place where they can't have it. And also, he'd built it out with a roof and everything, and a beautiful, and lights and music and all that, and a barbecue, a stone barbecue. And that was totally illegal because they only have a license for a kiosk to sell ice cream and stuff you can do on the plancha,
Yeah.
on the grill.
Yeah.
So you can only do stuff you do on the grill. And so that was just really weird, really.
Yeah.
So, and also there were loads of what's the word? Stories about him chucking stuff in the sea at night, but also you have to run 4 socorristas, lifeguards. Yeah, you got to run 4 socorristas, and you got to clean the beach. So when nobody takes that over, there's nobody cleaning the beach, nobody putting the flags up, right? So it's really, really a shame because it was a great place.
So does that mean there's no lifeguards down there at the moment?
We complained, and the council have put them in 10 till 4.
Because there's that little jetty there where you see all the kids and the...
Yeah, I mean the jetty
All jumping
is
off.
basically a breakwater for the waves, yeah,
Yeah.
to stop it washing the whole beach away.
Yeah.
Because there wasn't a beach, it was stones in 2013. And when we arrived in 2014, they got this. We arrived in July 2014, and in October they got a machine on the beach, like a big washing machine, and they just took a bagger, or what do they call it, a JCB, and chucked the stones in it, and this ground it up, And then they chucked it out again. So it's not sand, it's ground up stone.
Oh, right.
And it's black, obviously. It's like the local beach. But they made it, and then they put in these stakes in the ground, concreted them in, put the little umbrellas up, and each umbrella's actually got a button that sends a message to the kiosk to say I want service.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you press the button and it pops up, and then the guy goes out and takes your order, comes back. And they had the guy selling the chairs as well.
Yeah.
So you couldn't sit there without, it's only like $5 a day or something.
Yeah.
But it was still, I mean, you would make enough money on the chairs to pay the rent in a month.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but if you're not doing that, you're not doing that. Just checking my battery. Yeah, battery. Yeah, batteries are okay today. On there as well. Oh, we're muted. No, we're not. I got you, didn't I? I got you. Let's see what we got. Keep having a slight buffer, Tim. Oh, there you go. Is that because I'm using this? I'm not going to move it now. Oh, although I could, couldn't I? So that usually clips on there, you see. There you go. And this is my Wi-Fi. Christina says she's the Wi-Fi, or the Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
So I'll put the Wi-Fi on the end here. Okay. Oh, that's better. So I'll go look at the thing here. Oh, that's good. You can see me bottle of beer going past. Chris and Adele.
A lot of people have probably asked you this question, but what actually, I mean, you've travelled and worked all in different places around the world, so what made you settle on Tenerife?
Basically, I used to work for a company called Siemens,
Yeah.
and they were massive, and their semiconductor business, which I was a part of, spun itself off in 1999 to its own business called Infineon.
Yeah.
So Infineon was making microchips, and they were making microchips and making mistakes. So automation came in, factory automation, and I was the first person to read the book on factory automation for semiconductors. It was called SEX, Semiconductor Equipment Communication Standard.
Yeah.
And it was a very low level. There was SEX 1, which was basically the bits and bytes, and then there was SEX 2, which was like the messages. So I read this, and I started collecting data off a metrology piece of equipment that sort of measured the microchips after a particular step, because the microchips went on silicon wafers through the process, and they'd go in waves called layers, obviously, because they would, first of all, they'd put photolac on the thing, then they'd photograph it with X-rays or Y-rays or I-beams, and that would put a pattern on it of the electric circuit, and then they put it in an oven to bake it to get a deposition on it. Then they'd etch away the bits they wanted to etch away, and then they'd send it to another thing, I don't know what it was, an ion implanter to implant the ions. So it went through all these processes, and at one point, if you got through the 30 levels or the 40 levels, if you made a mistake on level 1, it wasn't that expensive. But if you made a mistake on the wafer, at level 35, you're putting like 50 grand down the pan, you see, per wafer, and the lots were 100 wafers. So if you killed a lot of 100 wafers at 50 grand a wafer, you were putting a lot of money down the pan.
Yeah.
And it was just silly mistakes, like you choosing the wrong recipe on the machine. You're at level 33, but you were doing it for level 32. You know, totally different.
Yeah.
So I automated it that they couldn't make that mistake, and then I became famous for that.
Yeah.
Because I was the first to do it. I was the only one to read the book, right? So I became the de facto expert. So I went all over the world.
Yeah.
At 53, I came back to Germany, and Christina had been diagnosed with something with the nerves. You know, her eyes were not good and all that. And they said, we could be, MS, but we're not sure, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, we came back to Germany, 6 months later, she was diagnosed with MS. So she said, okay, don't worry about it, no, not a problem. But then that was in 2001 when we came back. So 2002 we bought a house, and then after we bought the house she was diagnosed, and then 10 years later she was in a wheelchair. So it sort of went downhill. So I said, because Stephanie our daughter went to college, so we said we're going to have a holiday alone, on our own, right? Because we'd always holiday to my parents or whatever, you know, or Ibiza or something like that.
Yeah.
We're going to have a holiday on our own. So we picked Tenerife because it was March and I wanted to guarantee sun.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So we came here in 2012 and stayed at the Sheraton La Caleta. And it was fantastic. I was pampered, you know, and I was earning a lot of money, so it didn't bug me, you know, to like just do stuff. I want to try that and that and that. Well, no, that's 3 meals. Yeah, well, I'll eat a third of it, and you can, you know. I was a bit decadent, to say the truth, but I wanted to try stuff, and I'd drink this in the bar, which was like €9 a pint.
Good grief. No.
And then at the end of it, I was so enamored with the island. I said, you know, we're going to come here when I retire. Retirement age in Germany is 66 and 4 months. So like 66 and a half, because I'm on this curve, you know. And Chris says, I'll be a vegetable by then. And so that hit me.
Yeah.
So I said, well, what do you want from life? She said, I want to sleep late, wake up to the sound of the sea, have a brunch on the deck, or you know what, balcony.
Yeah.
Have a brunch on the balcony. In the afternoon, I want to rest, talk to my family on the phone or Skype or FaceTime, and then in the evening, by sundown, I want a bottle of wine and a nice meal.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, how much does that cost? And I went through, and I thought, well, if I'm paying, I didn't want to buy a house because that would tie me to a place first of all, and secondly, I couldn't really afford it.
Yeah.
I was good at spending money, that was it. And so I said, well, what I'm going to do is I'll find out. So I thought, well, rent is going to be about $600-700, plus a car, plus electricity and gas, not gas, water. So I need around about 900 or to 1,000 a month to cover expenses, including the telephones and TVs and stuff like that. Yeah. And then I need to work. And the only thing I could do would be a magician, because that was my. It was a semi-professional hobby at the time, but I thought I'll work 2-3 times a week here. You know? So then it started becoming a reality, and I went to work and cried and said I'm in burnout because the wife's ill and I've got a high-powered job and he's sending me all over the world. So they put me in Munich, and that was the death knell. Yeah. Yeah, because I didn't travel anymore, so I wasn't really having fun. I was in charge of a lot of things, but it was all doing the videos. Yeah. And I was actually doing video. That's where I learnt my video craft, because I would actually have to do training online with nobody there to send it to them, because it wasn't sort of live and immediate at the time. Yeah. And so I thought, well, I can do this. So then I thought, well, that's it. I'll just give up and do this as my job. So that's what I did.
You have to prioritise what's important in life.
You should learn that at 6. I'm telling you.
Yeah, yeah.
This is where we have a slight...
Not when you're getting to the age where you can't do anything.
Yeah, slight difference. Yeah. Because I'm the overcautious person, probably. And you're the one that says, well, you know, why don't you just go for it?
Yeah.
There's a danger of just going for it, but there is an excitement. As long as you don't blame anybody when it goes, what's the word without, pear-shaped.
Pear-shaped, very good.
When it goes pear-shaped, okay. Email me to find out what I was thinking.
We know exactly what you were thinking.
Okay. But muchas gracias. Are you okay, guys?
Yeah.
And so as long as you don't blame anybody and you see everything as an opportunity, I think that's what's happened with us as a family. We've seen every setback as an opportunity. So Christina says, my illness allows me to live in Tenerife. Whereas others might say, my illness.
She comes across very much positive.
she wouldn't say that because she is a realist, right? So I call her a pessimist because, yeah, I mean, she is a realist, but she comes across as being positive because she accepts her limitations.
Yeah.
And other people interpret that as being positive.
Okay.
But, I mean, isn't that like normal? Accepting your limitations and getting on with it
Yes.
isn't really positive. It's sort of like a needs must. It's like you know, I'm a staunch socialist, right? You probably know that, right? And a lot of people vote for people who would benefit them if they earned double what they earn, right? But they still think, well, I'm a millionaire, but just not yet, right? Yeah. So a lot of people are voting for politics that don't benefit them whatsoever, but probably will when I'm a millionaire, you know. And Christina's totally different. She's saying, look at what you have and live within your means. Not so much live within your means, but live with your limitations and be happy. And then anytime you get a little bit of bunce, something nice happens, you're totally great and you're never disappointed.
Yeah.
You know? But I found a lot of people sort of live for, when we get this, we're going to do that. And when this happens, we're going to do that. So they're living for the future that will never happen. Or maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
And what you really need to do is to say, this moment that we're having now is the only true moment you ever have. Yeah?
Yeah.
This is the only true moment that actually exists. And so you really have to make the most of it. You have to be present. You have to enjoy what you're doing right at this moment.
Yeah. You just got to grab it when it's
And
there.
people say, well, why plan for the future, Tim? And I say, well, planning for the future is a thing we're doing right now. So enjoy the planning phase, but know that it may never come true. That's it. This program has been brought to you by Socialists Anonymous. Somebody asked me what the definition of socialism was, and I've been trying to find one, and I really found it the other day. Socialism is making sure everybody has enough before you gorge yourself. It's not to do with you losing out. It's to do with you making sure everybody's got enough before you start to gorge yourself. Oh, that's my version of socialism anyway. It's not Marxism, it's not Leninism, it's Timism. You heard it here, folks. You heard it first here. I want a statue on Red Square in London. We'll name it together. I have been totally ignoring your comments. We got 107 people watching. I know I don't have thousands of people watching, but I think I have the best quality people watching. Oh, I love Christina. They like it. Oh, Maria Albanos is on. ¿Qué tal, mi amiga? Neil's on. Tim, are you two guests from Norfolk? You're from Norfolk?
You certainly are.
Ah, Norfolk. The Broads. There you go.
Did you get to meet Tim? Walk with me, Tim?
No.
You didn't?
No. He never contacted me.
We bumped into him with Daniel.
Oh, with Craicmaster.
When he was having problems with his phone.
You told me about that.
Trying to start it, yeah. Well, he's
a Norfolk
about
guy,
3
is he?
miles away from us.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Cool. I think he's still on the island, though, is he?
Oh, he's definitely got a live from Great Yarmouth on Sunday.
Oh, well, he's probably flying home right as we speak.
Yeah.
Tim, if you're ever back on the island, I would really love to meet you and interview you.
Yeah.
You don't have to do a walk or anything like that. Just come up to Balcony Banter. There's a bottle of wine and nice food waiting for you, and I'll interview you. So we'll see you in the next one.
Yeah.
So I take it our accents gave us away then.
Exactly. The Norfolk. And, Jameson's Barbershop. Tim, I haven't seen you for a while. Glad you're still alive. The present moment is all we really have, is what I'm saying.
Correct.
And Ian the Miller's there. Hi, folks. Have an Easter egg, and I don't roll your eggs too far. Bye for now. He came and went. See you, Ian. I saw in the corner of my eye, do we have chocolate eggs here? You can get Easter eggs here, but we don't buy them. I don't know why. I'm not religious, and I if I want chocolate, I'll buy chocolate. I don't buy an overpriced piece of egg. And Christina can't go shopping, and I don't tell her it's Easter anyway, so she knows it's Easter, of course. But Darren John for the Timformator. I love it. Thanks, Darren. Thanks for sticking around. You probably did answer my question. I'm going to have to look back and find it. Or send me an email, please, Darren, when you're coming over and your flight and everything. Hey, if you want to be picked up and it's not in a silly hour, let me know and I'll pick you up.
I thought he was coming over soon, actually.
He is. It's probably next week or the week after. I don't know. Tim and friends at the table, please have one on me. He's just bought the beers. In fact, you can have another 5. Thanks, Darren.
Thank you.
Cheers, Darren.
Straight in there.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Do you want a short or something if you're not into big ones? They do nice German schnapps here. I don't know whether you like German schnapps though. It's very sort of like Brasso. You got to get it down.
I'll stick with the beer.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Well, get it down, you know.
Yeah.
From Norfolk.
Yeah.
From
Cheers,
Norfolk.
guys.
Thanks, Darren. You're a star, my friend. You're a star. Come to Bournemouth, Tim, and run up some zigzag cliff paths for the extra pounds we'll drop off. I will give you a great big fat no on that one. I just blame Christina. We're not travelling anymore. Don't worry about it. Alan Gebby, good evening, Tim et al. Hope Christina is well. She is. And Anne-Marie saying happy Easter to everybody. There we go. I'm trying to go back.
Anne and David.
Oh, yeah. I do actually get some recommendations on Facebook for friends. And if you've sent me a friend request on Facebook to my personal account, I do apologise for not accepting it. For the simple reason is that I use Facebook for something else. I have a Facebook page called Living with MS in Tenerife, which is at LWMST, which you can go to, and I put everything about our thing on that. But people message me on that as well, and about a year ago I got a load of problems with people messaging me on that for silly stuff. So you get an automatic response now if you message me saying, I love to blah blah blah, but please email me. The easiest way to get hold of me is email me, because I will always reply to emails. Well, Joe. Always, up until the point when I don't. But I will always reply to emails, and I've got a record of it there with the messaging and stuff. I use WhatsApp if you're on the island and you need to contact me immediately. You can have my WhatsApp number if you're on the island, and if you're not on the island, email's the best way. And if you don't want to contact me at all, that's also okay. We've been on. It doesn't tell me. Oh, it tells me here. 1 hour and 2 minutes.
Really?
Really?
Yeah. Well, I have.
It's past our bedtime.
But I mean, it was still. I was only like 10 minutes in the bar.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it is now nearly 7 o'clock. Kirsten, haben wir das Tisch länger? Muss jetzt weg, oder? Okay. So we've only got it till 7. So somebody's coming in here at 7, so we're going to say hello. Is there anything or anybody you want to say hello to before we go?
Just all the family, really.
You've got family, and they're not subscribed.
9 grandchildren, so...
9 subscribers tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They range from 21-year-old.
Yeah?
to 2.5.
To 2.5 grandchildren.
Yeah.
Yeah, 9 grandchildren.
9 grandchildren, from 21 to 2.5.
Yeah.
The legacy lives on.
I've only got one daughter.
Got 5 children between us.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
but they're all our grandchildren. So.
And are you thinking of coming over and living here?
Love to.
Then what you got to do, guys, is stop voting for the Tories and get back into Europe.
Yeah.
We'd love to.
Yeah.
Would like to maybe come for short periods of time.
She'd like to do a long-term rental first.
Uh-huh. A lot of people doing now is doing long-term rental for the year, but don't live in it all year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then for the times when you're not living in it, give it to your mates.
Yeah.
Yes.
For the
And I mean, you're not renting it to them, so it's legal.
Yeah.
But the only problem with that is that you have this sort of, what's the word? This conscience that you're taking a flat away from somebody who lives here. Yeah. And unfortunately, the landlords, and I hate the word landlord, but the landlords will rent to somebody foreign quicker than they'll rent to a local, because the foreign person has got the money and the local is yeah. But that's the other problem, is that the locals are paid really badly because of the 95-cent pint. Right? So what we're trying to do is get this island up to be able to pay the locals a decent working wage, and therefore they'll stop faffing around and there'll be good service, and it will benefit everybody in except for somebody looking for 95-cent pints and a $25 flight and comatose drinking for the week, right? It will still exist, but we want to move on. We want to move on.
So
wow.
Also have the 3 months, the 90 days that we can only stay as well at the moment, isn't it? In 180 days.
That's because you're a third world country. Well, not third world. What do they call it? Third something country. So you get back into Europe and you can stay as long as you like. Free movement of people. There you go. It was nothing to do with people going over to Britain. It was to do with us going here. Stop being political, Tim, on a Freaky Friday. Talking about Freaky Friday, I've not done it yet, have I?
Oh, played the intro.
Ladies and gentlemen, I've got to look in the camera. This has been Freaky Friday. Right, we're in a... I put the wrong one on, but don't worry. There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, Chris and Adele, thank you so much for joining us tonight. I mean, it was like a meet-up Monday, but it was freaky.
Yeah.
Do you want another drink before we go? We can move to another table.
Thank you.
No, we're all right.
We go to another pub.
Sorry?
Go to another pub.
No, we've got to catch a bus.
You got a ketchup bus. Well, we'll walk up to the bus stop.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a bar right next to the bus stop.
Pintatenko? Tintapenko?
Tinto.
Where the bus stop is?
There's 3 bars there.
How is it?
There's Nebula. Upstairs is Terrace El Hable. And the other one is El Rincon Coriollo. That's a great place to have food, actually. Yeah. Right, I'm going to say ta-ra.
Yeah.
Have a great evening. Other people are already going anyway. Ladles and Jelly Spoons. This is Tim down for Living with MS in Tenerife with Chris and Adele, and we're going.
Thank you.
Thank you. We're going to see you on the next one, Meetup Monday. Nobody's registered for Meetup Monday yet, so I'm going to take Christina to a new bar. Have a look at the website to find out where we're going. Okay, very important. If you turn up here, we will not be here on Monday. We'll be somewhere else. So, be sure. It's a nice bar. It's near La Caleta. It's actually in La Caleta. In fact, it's right next to the church by Sheraton La Caleta. So that's what we're going to, in that complex there where Cafe 7 is. But there's another cafe we're going to. In fact, I'll tell you right now, it's called La Vida something or other, not Loca. Something Vida. Anyway, I'll find out and I'll let you know. I'll put up a thing on the community page and we'll do everything. This is Tim Darby living there in Tenerife with these 2 beautiful guys and Kirsten behind me. Say hello, Kirsten. From Little Germany, signing off. Bye. See you. Good morning.